share my screen. Before that, let me open the application. Hope you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
today,
sir.
what I do, I'm going to do a sample code application on master department, complete flow. So no document. So listen carefully. So the video only going to send to you. So based on this, you have to do the employee code operations. Okay. Let me create an application. It's demo application. Let me create a module. Department. So I'm going to, before creating a page, so let's start to create master department. I think I have already this one. So let me drag and drop two fields, name, code. So I have created two fields in master department. So let me create APIs for those two. First one select, so get method, depart, select. So I have created one. Let me create. Okay, we select fields first. Select we require only these two. Save changes. Next, let me create another type of API, list API, and the list API is get type, department list. So I'm going to select these two things and implement to first name, right? Last name, first name. Want to display that role name, right? Let me select this also. I unselected role as because every user will have definitely role, so that's why I unselected this role thing. This is not also option. So Zerocode by default, if you don't, when saving this ID also, by default Zerocode will save the session user ID who is going to update it. So modified is not required. Modified is nothing but who has updated. Yeah, I need a created type. So I have selected these fields to display. Next is save update API. For save update, we choose a post method, department, save update. Save update. So we're going to save only these two things. Okay. So name and update can be created at once, and code cannot be modified while updating. So keep in this reminder always. So if you have two fields, name and code in a master dataset, code cannot be updating. It can be created by only once. Once it's created, it should not be updated. So there we have option here. Update ignore. So even though if you users change some value and update, so it won't update. So if you select this one, update ignore option, so when it's going to create, it will create. But when you're going to update this code, it won't update. This one feature. So master data sets, the codes cannot be updated. So is one thing. And next last API is delete API. Delete. So for employee, I think you don't need to select that update ignore option, because all fields you need to update. So do not select that one. For only master data set, say update API, select that for code field, update ignore option. Okay, this is delete. Department delete. Done. So up to this, you guys done. So you have the only thing I have added here. The new thing is this one. So for master data sets, we will have always default two fields is name and code. So while save updating API, so code cannot be changeable. Once it is created, it should not be changed. If you want to change, want to make any change in that, you have to delete that one. You have to create new record again. So because what is the reason behind is, so once it has been added in real-time business development, based on this code, we are going to implement multiple conditions to display some other fields, to hide show for remaining for a form or a data, anything. So if user allows to change the value, code value, so we already have implemented a condition based on this code, so that those conditions will be failure. So user should not change this code once it has been created. For that future, we have to consider this one. Okay, so I have created data set and fields and APIs now. So app module already created, and I didn't created pages department. Let me create. So I have created an application called demo. So I have only one module, so it was pre-selected. So I choose user, and it's a session. So you forget about whatever blank and lay on board. Blank will be used for session, not session based applications pages. So for generally, for now, you only select user only. For any page you're going to create, select master page as user. Choose one icon is fine for now, but in real time it should be right icon. Department. So as said, is an option. I give this a first one has to display and save. So now page has been created. Up to this, you guys did fine. So we have to implement a grid first. For that, I'm going to drag and drop layout. So the layouts will help to divide and display the our views. So we use a layout for any data list or any form. So if we are going to drag and drop a new form, better to drag and drop a new layout. There you implement your form or data list. It will help us to keep display proper way. So I have drag and drop block. I'm going to data views. I'm going to drag and drop data list. So it's loading. So I'm going to change this ID to understand better. So departments. Okay, title is departments. Next is the first thing I have to go and select API. Here this is a default text. Instead of that, you have to keep no departments found. If you don't keep this one, it will display no records found. So instead of that, we give the proper name if there is no records in list. So I'm going to select a list API to tag this data list. This one, department list API. So this is a get method, right? So I have selected this. So need not pass anything, and this is done. And page nation, I'm going to select bottom display format. This one as going to select anyone is fine. I have chosen this one. Next, so no need of worry about all these things. I'm going to add a columns now. The first column is name. So this is text field and the key I choose. So these fields, which fields you have selected in the list API, those fields will be visible. So we have to tag first API and then only I have to come and add column here. Then only you can see this field. So if you don't select API first and directly come on to add columns here, these fields won't be visible. This one you have selected. And properties, you are going to select this sorting. By default, column search will be visible. So you have to select this sorting. So I'm going to save. Next column you have to display is code. Code. And we are going to select this field as code. Okay. And properties. I'm enabling sorting. The next thing we use to display the created time. So then the record has been created. Let's say created on. This is a date time field, right? I'm going to select this one. If you simply keep this one, it will automatically converts. It actually, when it comes from the backend, it comes in different format. It's not a user understand format. So if you select this type, it will automatically converts it to readable format. So I'm going to select this created time. And I'm coming to here and I bring this submit. Next is created by. This who has created. I'll keep text only. Here we have to keep merge and display three values. I'll select one of those first name for identically. Here I'm going to write a display format. I'm going to write item refers the current record dot created ID first name, this one. So if you want to know copy that keys, better what to do, you go here, duplicate API tab. I'm going to see APIs, a department list API, a builder. So created first name, right? Yes. Item dot created first name. And copy this. So just keep a span tag, HTML tag to if you want to write any styles. So this is the basic syntax we have to follow if you want to write merge multiple keys in a single field. The next thing we have to keep our last name. Copy this last name, and inside bracket we want to display a user role and who has created and what is his role. I just kept the bracket and I copied this. I'm copying this role name field, and here I'm pasting it. Okay. Properties, I'm enabling sorting. So if enable sorting, it will sort on the first name. Okay. Enable this.
Sir, can you please come again, sir, that how to go to duplicate API?
Duplicate API.
Sir, you copy that name, sir. Created ID.
I have duplicated tab. I have duplicated this tab.
Okay, sir. Duplicate tab.
Duplicated tab. It will comes to here. Click on apps.
Okay, okay, sir.
Then there's the apps tab. There you can find the API, the list API. There you can have the keys.
Yes, sir. I understand.
So data list display just display integration is done. The next thing is we have to keep three actions: add department, edit department, delete department. To add edit department, we want to display a pop-up. So what I do now, before going to add group actions, now I'm going to implement a pop-up. For that, I'm going to drag and drop another layout. So let's keep this out. So this is another block, and this is another block. So here, now I'm going to drag and drop form. I'm giving name. Let's see, department, create, edit. So we are going to use same form to create purpose and update purpose. So I'll give some title, create, edit, department. So we can display this title as dynamic, like when you are creating, you should display create department. When you're editing, you should display edit department. That's a bit advanced. You can come to that later. For now, what I'm doing, I'm keeping common name as create or edit department. So I'm going to open this. So if you want to open a form into pop-up, we have to enable this one, hide form. Then only when you click on add action, add or edit action, this will come in a pop-up. Pop-up means you know the model. Okay, and this here. Here, when edit, the value should be prefill, right? The prefill API is nothing but a department select API. So here it should be a params. We will pass UID. Okay, this is one thing. Where the UID comes from, when we are add or edit action, we have to pass that UID of that record. I will show you how we can pass that value. Okay, when add, the UID's value is empty, so it will be record going to be saved. When edit record, we are sending the UID from edit action, so it will send that UID here. It will get the add data and prefills here. So I'll show you how it works really. So I have selected prefill API and I have added this UID. Now I'm going to add fields. So we have title fields, which is two things, name and code, right? I'm going to drag and drop two fields. Put this, I'm going to change the name. So how I am choose the field names is go and open the Zerocode API builder. You have to copy these names fields. The name, whatever name, the key and the save update key should be always match. Not only save update, for display also. The name should always match. Otherwise, data won't going to be displayed or data won't going to be saved. So keep this in always mind. If you are not content to type, better copy from APIs. Okay, whether it's a save API or whether it's a select API or list API, whatever it is, the keys should be match always the API key names. So this one I have added one field. So make it this select as 6. So the compute will take 12. We are dividing this compute width of the system. We have set 12 pods. So 12 pods means it comes from bootstrap CSS rules. So what you do, you select 6. It will divide it will display in half of the box. And I'm going to add one more field, code. So before that, let's make this field as required. Place of this is enter text, right? Instead of enter text, we have to keep enter department name, or else you can keep enter name. That's our choice. Okay, enter department name. So messages. So you say it is required, right? Then you have to enter this value also. Otherwise, it will give a default message like this field is required. Instead of that, we'll give a custom required message. Please enter department name. So if we given name as title, label as title as name, right? So we can give name also to understand better purpose. So I have given this. So if you select required, you should give required message also. Okay, and also you should change placeholder. So this is our field how we have to configure. These basic things we have to follow for each and every field. And next field is code. After drag and drop, so in styles, I'm going to move and select as a 6-1, and it comes to here. The half of the box it displays, and half of the box it displays next one. I'm going to click on properties, and here I'm going to integrate code field. Code, I'm going to enable this as required. Okay, and I said enter department code. Enter department code and message. Please enter department code. So this is all. Better purpose, keep on saving. If something you by mistake and accidentally clicks the navigation button, anything that your data will be lost. Okay. Frequently better click on that thing. So after that, we have to keep 2 buttons to save purpose and to close the pop-up. So what we do, I have an option called group field. This it will helps to keep display properly. I am going to drag and drop. To this. I'm going to keep this also inside this one. And this one thing, I am going to drag and drop another group there. Inside group, I'm going to add 2 buttons. One button to save update data, and another one to close the pop-up. Okay, I'm going to choose a button. You name it as save. So give some name as save btn. Okay, action. I'm going to select a department save update. This one. So it's a post only. If you confused, don't know means you can see here. Department save method type is post. A save and update will choose always post. To get display list data or select data, we'll choose always get. Okay, that's one thing. Component doesn't, yeah. Here what we do, we are tagging this button to this form to validate and send the data to API. So I'm going to select this one, created department form. The first one is it's a department name and department ID. List the data list name and data list ID, but we required the form name and UID. I selected this one. If you enable this one, then only if there are any fields, required fields, it will validate. Even though if there's a fields required, if you don't enable this validate, so it won't ask you to validation. So even if we enter data also, not enter, doesn't matter, it will data form going to be submitted. So I have selected this one. What will happen by clicking on this button, and it will find this form ID and check for if there's any required field.
Participants lone.
Guys, someone please mute. Okay. So clicking on this button, it will find this form, which form it is, and if there's any fields, required fields in that form, it will validate if there's empty values in the fields. So I have enabled this one. So it's a enter valid form data, so it doesn't matter. So keep if you keep this in default text, also not an issue. So params extra params not required. So it automatically gets sent. What else next? On success, I'll come to this later. We require this one. And next is cancel button to close the pop-up. And to drag and drop the inside next group field. We have two group fields, right? So so this one group field. We have in one group field we have two fields, and another group field we have two buttons. So the next button is this is cancel button. Cancel. Cancel BTN. Action is API is not required. So we are going to close this pop-up, right? Pop-up, right? I choose as component. The pop-up we call it as component. So I will select this. I'm going to select this one. Action. Okay, required action, sir. 1 second. Type action. Close widget. Save. So when click for cancel button, select component and then select the form ID, and then go in type, you select action. Then after select close widget. This is one thing. Now we have individually created a data list and a form. Now I'm going to connect these two things. So now I'm going to click on this grid. So it will load these properties. I'm going to add a group actions and row actions. I'm going to connect this form to that group. Here, the first action is add department. What's happened? It has not properly, but refresh. Oh, save. Shit, I lost. Oh, thank God we have saved it. Fine. So actions group. 1 second. Let me reload first. Okay. It works. It's add. I name it as label is add. Type is on clicking on add button. It should open up. We're going to open a model. So I select model means pop means component. And I have to open this. I'm going to select this. Created it. Action. Model. So we can pause. Create department. So model size we can keep medium. Position also not required. So always center. That's all. Params. Here we're going to pass UID value should be empty and add button. Yeah, so if you don't add, send the UID, it will create a new record. So this is done. So I'm going to add edit option. So edit. For it also, we are going to open a pop-up component, and here I'm going to select the form ID and the model and say edit department. I say an update department. If not comes here, it doesn't matter. Don't choose one size also, it will give by default which one. Even this also not required. Okay, the parents. So it will automatically comes here. UID. So in params, you have to mention UID. Now what happened? Whatever the UID. So when we are going to display list, for each and every record, Zerocode will give you UID. That UID is going to pass to the form. And this is the one. I'm going to submit. Here it's coming right. What else? Yeah, done. And next one is delete. Delete. For delete, we won't open any form. We will directly call API. We'll choose department delete API here. And this is method type is delete. Params is we'll send an array. Name it as UIDs. Value is UID. This is a default fixed syntax we have to follow. For delete one, we have to select type array. Name is UIDs and value is UID. So inside UIDs array, it will send this individual record UID, which is delete. For delete, we are going to after delete record, we have the list should be reload. So I'm going to select a component. Grid also one of the component. I'll choose departments and I'll choose reload refresh widget and say before clicking on delete action should ask confirmation. That's why I enable this one. Are you sure you want to delete? Department. Submit. So now I created a page and all those things. And let's see, login into the application. I'm going to refresh this once. So I have credentials.
Admin.
680 929. So I have demo application. So here it is on grid. Right. So these are columns. So this, as I said, no department spawn. If you don't keep the text, so it will display a default text like no record spawn. Okay. So when I click on this, it will should open a pop-up. Okay. Part of the styles. So it is coming this way, right? Or no need to worry about this. You can come to know it later. So the main thing you have to finish the functionality. So when I click on add, I said open a component, right? So here, open this form. So if you want to open a form in a model, you should hide that form. You should hide that form, and you have to link that here. So then automatically, so by default, no, it will be this. Actually, it is staying below to this department list. but we hide that form. When clicking on add button, it's opening. Okay, now I'm going to add the human. Human resource. I said HR. Now see, you have added data, but it's not closing and list is not reloading. For this, what we do? So better, I am going to reload this page better to avoid issues. Okay, I'm opening this, loading this data list properties, and open. So when add a record, it should be close a pop-up automatically, and data list should be reload. For that, I have edited this group action. I'm opening this component, and here on success. No, not this one. Sorry, this one. When click on save button, you should write. Sorry. In form, when click on save button, right, and save button on success. So I said I open action API on success. Here I'll choose a component. So grid should be reload. Data list should be reloaded. I select department list and reload. So data will reload, and also form should be closed. For that, I choose a component. And here closing thing, we should also select departments only, not form ID. And here close for both list reload and list close. You have to select only data list ID only. This inform save button. So after adding a record, you want to reload this data list, and if you want to close a form, you have to select in both the places as a component, and you have to select the same data list ID. One success is you will select a reload. The other success you select close. So it's a page changes, right? I'm going to reload this one. So make any change in the page build, you have to reload. Then only it works. Let's test one more time. Information technology IT. See, so it's a pop closed automatically, and grid is going to be reloaded. This is for add. Next, edit. Okay. API method type is not matching. Okay. Here,
Method, right?
let me see that. So which means the prefill API is not included properly. Method API is wrong. It says post, but select method is guest. So I'm going to change this one. Now I'm going to so it's a page change, right? I'm going to reload this page again. Now I'm going to edit. So see, data gets prefilled. You know what happened? Let me show you how it works. When you display this data list, so there's a refresh icon. In list, you will have, if you go for preview tab. So now how you can open? Just browser right click on inspect. It opens, and here there's a network. So by default will be all. You select this F fetch or XHR here, and comes to here, reload this one. So a little bit I'm expanding. Here this API it reloads. So headers means the API URL which you have called. Here it shows, and so we are sending page number 110, and means first page and 10 records. Preview, it gives a response. Here you have two records, right? These two records. Inside rows, you have array, you have two records, two objects. This is the two objects here. For every record, Zerocode by default creates one ID as a number. But when it comes to give to front end, they are encrypted, giving the encrypted UID. We are calling the ID as UID. So user doesn't no need to about what is this encrypted UID exactly. Okay. So by default, Zerocode will give you UID, even though there's no option to select the UID. If you select any one of the field from the data set, it gives that UID. So created ID also, it's another data set, it's a user relation. So you have selected only this first name, last name role. But if you select any one field from that relation, data set relation, it will automatically use that UID also. Okay. So to get this particular record, this was information technology record, to prefill in a form, so we require UID. For select API, for select API, you should send UID. Then only it gives you that particular record information. So for every record, we have UID already. It's hide internally. When you edit, you said when you edit, pass UID. You have passed UID here. Let me show you. Actions, actions, edit, component. So that's the params here. See, we are pausing UID name, key name is UID, value is UID. The value is UID means which record you are editing, that UID will send to the form pop-up. If in that pop-up UID, it will get automatically appends to this form prefill API. We said the UID, right? And form will open. So you are saying that UID is name K and value is UID means it will find, it will wait and get from UID from a row action. So it will automatically append here and will send the UID. So here, when we edit, it will call the select API and will send UID here. When add, actually we are sending empty UID. Let me show that. Actions, group, edit, component, params. We said key is UID, but value is empty. That's why when you click on add, so we haven't sent any UID. That's why it doesn't call the API also. So it will open the empty values form. So you can click on edit. We are sending UID, right? So it will call API and gets data and prefills here. So data should be prefill means the select API key names. What are the select API key names? The select API key names should be always match the form field key names. This one. Okay. Then only data will be prefills automatically. Click on cancel. Oh. Sorry, here I did a mistake. For cancel button, I have selected actually form ID, but you should select this data list ID here. Component. Department. Okay. Cancels. So add and edit is done. I told you that we have one feature when you are updating, we have selected one field as update ignore option. This field. Let me show you how it works. So when adding whatever the code you are giving, it's saving, right? If you are going to change this one as value as 1, even though save, value is not changing, because we are saying that while updating, ignore that field value. So generally what we do actually, we will make in editor option, we will make this field as read-only format. That's a we require one syntax that you can come to me later. Okay, this is one thing. So you see that when you are updating, we are sending UID. As that, yeah. Let me show you. Edit, API select API calls, and data comes and prefills. When you are saving, this is a save update API. We are sending a UID name and code. So when you are sending UID, it will updates a data name and code data against that UID record. While adding, let's say technical tech, add, while adding, you are not sending UID. So if you don't send UID, it will create a new record. If you send UID, it will update the record. Keep this in mind always. If you don't send UID, it will create a new record. If you send UID, it will update the record. So we have seen create and update, and how to prefill a form. Now let's see delete action. For delete, we don't require to open a form. We'll simply ask user to, are you sure you want to delete? So we should always keep that confirmation. Otherwise, what will happen? By simply click on that delete button, it will delete records. Now, generally, what we do? It's not opening. That really wants. Redraw actions. Row. Delete. I'm editing this. So what I'm saying, then click on delete icon, call a API, and pass in array format. Key name is UIDs and value is current record UID. Here you should, if I don't select this one, what will happen? It will automatically gets deleted. If you keep enable this one, it will ask confirmation. Now what happened? I'm going to click on delete. Okay, records get deleted. For that, what happened? On success, I said reload this data list refresh widget. This due to this reason, after deleting, it's reloading. So let me show you what if we don't select confirmation. We made some page changes, right? You have to refresh this page. I'm going to see it without asking confirmation, it's deleting record. Okay. We've seen that add actions, row actions, and this sorting we have enabled. And let's see how we can enable the individual search option, global search option. Okay, and let's see configure that one. We have one field. We have to add one field. I'll show you how to do that. In columns, we have to add an additional column to display search box on top. Name it as global filter. Doesn't matter. Text field only. I say global filter. This is a fixed key. You have to keep this key. So key shouldn't be changed. And we are going to hide this always. Submit. save changes, properties. These are not required, I think. Let's see. So it's not showing. 1 second. A global filter. Yeah, filter. I said enable required. Still it's not showing. Give me a minute. Let me check some reference. Global filter, and this is to action and change the filter required to. Okay, and we have to select APIs fields. Global filter, F is cap in that. Inside filter, we have to choose fields. Name, code, first name, last name, role.name. So we are going to search on these fields. Name, code, created by, and saving. Before that, any items, okay, not required. Update. Maybe it requires to enable here on columns. Sorry, it's playing. Let's remove this filter. Insert this. Maybe we have to select and filters. Submission mode all. Properties of filters. Top down submission mode on. 1 second. What is missing here? The selected field match type is any and placeholder. Filter property is not required. Okay, I have to keep this as text, I think. Still. Filters, nothing to select here. Once just have selected only this global filter key. Is not required. Hide condition is true. Action is nothing. Filter selected. Field type is text. Filter properties. Required. So outside. Let me change this. Filter. Choose name. Type as text. So we are going to search as name and filter code text field. Enable save. Still it's not showing. Some small things are missing. What is that? Oh, yes, this one I have selected. I didn't select it. Both options. Sorry. Both options. So let's disable this filters. Both top one, left all. So fine. This displaying here. So let me show you first again from first. So for this you have to add some class to get displayed properly. Here from 0, what is the class name? Don't worry, I will repeat again how to add a global filter. Display style, properties, with just 300 pixel. So to display it is on the right side. Let's take an existing reference of this manage. We have manage page, roles page, right? Let's take it as reference. Builder. So let me do from scratch level. I have deleted a global filter. Now what we have to do to add a global search field and individual column search field option, we have to go filters in properties. This one, right? Open properties and then open filters. and select here the both option. Both option. That's the only one thing you have to select here, both option only. And then minimize these filters. Minimize this. To display one more such box on top of it, add and key global filter. So this key you have to follow this. Global filter F is capture. Someone is please unmute. Jyoti. Thank you. So key name is global filter and height condition should be true. And in filter, you have to choose on which fields you are going to search. Name and code, last name, first name, and role lot name. So these fields only we are displaying, right? I have selected only those fields. Forget about created date time field. So I said match type as any. So we are going to search not for thing, right? So choose many. We have exact and range also. I'll let you know about that later. So exact will use for drop down purpose and range will use for date field. So I keep here is 300 pixel is just about display style. Even though if you don't enter, not an issue. I'm saving it. Let's see, before I have deleted, right? It won't display here. Let's see. Okay. Now I'm going to save this. And let's see the roles thing, how it is that displaying properly. Styles. We have to display this in this format. I'm just trying to do that. Just give me a moment. What is the style? Okay, I'll finally let you know the evening. Part of the display style. Just focus on functionality for now. So I didn't save it, I think. So in filters, I selected both. Have added the fields here. Search true. Save changes. What happened? Okay. So I entered the key name. I said true, height true. Display style not required. In filters, I should select this as required. Right. Okay. Now you search on this IT. It works. If you save IT1. Oh. Yeah. It is not working because in list API, we have to select those fields. Come to other. Here we have to add the fields on which fields we have to search. We had one by one. Name, code, and created first name, created last name. No, not new. So I save changes. So in list API, there's a last tab called other, and come to here. There's a global filter. So if you have to add one more each and every field, so one which fields you are going to search. So whatever the fields you have selected here in global filter, as that filter. I have to enable this required true. Here you have selected fields. So what fields you have selected, you have to select all those fields here. You have to add all those fields here. So I will add changes. Now let's see if I click on search enter, it's not getting. So there's no IT1 record. Press IT, it's getting search. Right. So in list properties, in filters, list properties filters, I said a type of both, both advanced search and column search, right? So I said both means what happened, it also enables search option here, even it's search here itself also. Information, it's coming. If I say 2, it won't get any record. So it's not searching. Then column key is now indicated wrong. Side enable enters type text. This is enough. This is right. One second. In the condition. Let me add one more record. In search an individual column also, it's not getting. If I search here IT, you don't get. For searching on only the particular column, so there is no text called IT. So that's why it's not getting. The search for human gives you. So in data, in here, if you say that filters as not both, only advanced. So the individual search option won't be visible. So advanced means this one. So column search means this one. Yeah, this is the one. So do the same for master department from your side. And if you, if possible, you work on employee also. Have any questions? So please follow this what steps I have did properly, then you can definitely complete this one. Team, any questions?
Sir, we need to do same assignment today.
Yeah, to same assignment and department. And if you are to done earlier, work on employee also.
Okay. Okay, sir.
So this video will be going to be sent. No document today. This video going to be sent to you, and follow this. I think people are already aware of that. If you have any questions, you can follow this video.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Here, any questions? No? Okay, then. So I'm going to end this session.
Okay, sir. Right now, no questions, sir. While practicing any issues, I will sort it in the evening, sir.
Yeah, follow that video. You will get definitely sorted. If still
Okay.
not able to do, we will connect to evening.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Priyanka, end the meeting and share this video, record video to them.
Yeah. Yeah, sir. Okay, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye.